All right, great. First things first, why have you decided to run?
Decided to run for office because the people in my community felt like their voices weren't being heard. I decided to run because of my career profession, being in the back of an ambulance, being in the fire service, being a first responder. It exposes me to a lot of the
Yeah,
inequity that are in society. It exposes me to how broken our healthcare system is, and it gives
yeah,
you a deep perspective on how people are really struggling out here just to survive. And you want to be that person that does more than just get them to the hospital when they're not feeling well. And I decided to run for office to see if I can make an even larger impact in their lives.
yeah. Okay, so what are your main priorities, the issues you want to prioritize?
Housing, Florida's cost of living is
Yeah,
absolutely ridiculous. We want to address the housing crisis by attacking what I believe is the root cause of the problem, and that's corporations and hedge funds buying up all the single family properties and homes
yeah,
around our area. The second thing we want to tackle is our healthcare system. We're tired of this system that we have been under. It is completely broken. You have overworked
yeah.
staff and underutilized medical services. So we want to try to get to that universal healthcare single payer system. And then third is the environment. Our waterways here on the Treasure Coast are extremely important to our economy, and we need to make sure that we are actually preserving the natural environment here in Florida, the thing that makes us special. So we
Yeah.
want to make sure that we are cleaning up the lake, protecting our waterways, and doing things to not mitigate problems, but actually solving problems.
All right. Tell me a little bit more about healthcare and what do you want to achieve? What are the policies that you would like to implement?
So I want to get to a universal healthcare program. And if you can visit my website,
Yeah,
bernardtaylorcongress.com, I've actually listed out the way we can get there that is productive and that is practical. It would start by simply just lowering the Medicare age by 10 years over the course of the next 5 to 10 years
yeah,
until we get to a point that includes everybody into that universal single payer system. We can fund it by literally actually focusing on taking our resources and putting them towards the American people, not sending them overseas to fight endless wars, not funding our defense department up to a $1.5 trillion, not having a $110 billion ICE budget. So we have the money to
yeah.
get towards things. It's about making sure we prioritize it. So I believe if we follow those steps and budget accordingly, we can get to a universal single payer healthcare system.
All right. What are the specific policies on housing you wanna implement?
So what I want to do with housing and how we can attack these corporations and hedge funds is by first instituting a moratorium or a ban on
Yeah,
corporations funds from being able to buy these properties. If I can't get something like that to get passed, at least we can put two things into place that I think would help. First is a right of first refusal, meaning that when the house goes on the market, these corporations and hedge funds cannot buy them for up to 6 months to a year, giving the
yeah,
community a chance to be able to bid and be able to purchase these homes. And then the second thing is instituting a tax on bulk purchases. So these corporations that buy, 10 or 20 homes in a brand new community before it's even built, let's start taxing them for those bulk purchases. So maybe instead of
yeah,
buying 10, 20 homes, maybe they only buy 5 homes and it leaves more supply on the market to keep the prices down. And then we could take
yeah.
the proceeds from that tax and put it to a fund that allows for down payment assistance for single families and single people to buy those homes.
All right. You also talk about the environment. What is your stance on AI data centers and what are the other environmental protection policies that you wanna implement?
So I'm fully against AI data centers being built here in Florida. We are already
Yeah,
in a development crisis here. We don't need any more development. We are already overdeveloped, and we are seeing it affect our natural resources and our environment in terms of the
yeah.
Everglades, in terms of the natural wildlife here in Florida, things of that nature. So I don't want to see any data centers be built here in Florida no time soon. Second thing that is extremely important to me, given where I live and given the district that I want to represent, Lake Okeechobee must be cleaned up. Lake Okeechobee is the dirtiest, most toxic lake in all of America. And
Yeah,
if we don't actually work to clean up that lake, which involves money because it's going to cost because you have to get the muck and you have to get the toxins, you have to get all those different things, which requires you going deep into the lake and digging all that stuff out. And then let the lake flow naturally. Right now, the way the lake is set up, it is not set up to flow in its natural path south into the Everglades. It is being manipulated to flow over to my area here on the Treasure Coast, and that
Yeah,
breeds toxin and that brings pollutions through our St. Lucie River into our Indian River Lagoon, into our estuaries, and
yeah,
all things. So if we just actually let the lake do its natural thing and flow naturally the way it's supposed to and clean it up the way we need to, it would go a long way into helping the waterways here, not just here on the Treasure Coast, but everywhere around the state of Florida.
yeah. All right. You also mentioned these endless wars that they're the current administration is constantly supporting. What are your ideas on foreign policy?
So for me, I am against again all the endless wars and the countless wars that we have been in over my lifetime, on
Yeah,
especially on false pretenses. I think they have been truly a waste of money, and I think they have been nothing more
yeah,
than cash grabs for the military industrial complex. So I really think there needs to be a strict war powers and war declaration resolution process that has to go through
yeah,
Congress. Can't be something that is universally done at the executive branch's expense. I think if you're going to declare war, if you're going to declare these resources be spent into, killing people, then we need to make sure that we are doing the things that we need to do. And in order to allocate those resources accordingly, if we the people don't feel like this is something that is necessary, we shouldn't
yeah.
be investing in these endless wars. And I have, and over the past 20 years, since the new turn of the century, I haven't seen a war that we've gotten into that we needed to go into.
All right. What are your stances on civil rights?
Um, well, given I'm an African American man, I know the purpose and I know the benefits civil rights legislation has benefited people who look like me
Yeah,
throughout the course of history. We need to make sure we are also expanding civil rights and equal rights to all groups of people. We need to make sure that everyone can walk around protected, safe, and have as many rights as everyone else in order to make sure that we are prosperous, in order to make sure that we can live in peace. Right now, we're seeing the targeting of different groups based upon gender, based upon sex, based upon immigration status.
yes,
I think right
yeah.
now we get back to a point where we can all act, quote unquote, civilly and make sure that we have equal rights and protections for all groups of people so that no one is targeted.
All right. Well, my last question would be if you can make an analysis or a diagnosis of Trump's second term in office.
My analysis would be just simply looking from the outside in, seeing how people are living in terms of the economy. I don't think he has been doing nearly enough for the people here in the working class. I think there's a certain
Yeah,
class of people that have done very well under his economy that just
yeah,
doesn't have. That just so happens to not be the everyday average American like you or myself. I think his foreign policy initiatives have been a detriment to the American people. Obviously, we are starting another conflict that is also impacting us
yeah,
here in terms of our wallets. The immigration policies of this administration have been disastrous, to say the least. We've had two American citizens lose their life as a result of these immigration policies, and not to mention
yeah.
countless other stories and atrocities that are occurring in these detention centers, and the way the process has been carried out has been completely unacceptable. And just an overall, if I overall had to assess from the outside looking in again, it's the reason why he has a 30% approval rating.
Yeah. Do you believe ICE can be regulated or reformed, or it should
This
be
current
abolished?
This current version, no. I think this current version of our immigration enforcement needs to be
Yeah,
abolished. We need to build something new. And it's not like we haven't done it as a country before. Before there was Immigration and Customs Enforcement, there was INS, Immigration and Naturalization Services.
yeah,
So this wouldn't be something that is not out of the ordinary for us to rebrand how we go about our immigrations and our customs. This version of whatever this is, this needs to go, and we need to come up with something else.
All right. Well, great. Thank you very much for your time. I don't know if you have anything else you'd like to add.
No, no, just again, if anybody wants to learn more about my campaign or what we're doing, please visit bernardtaylorforcongress.com. Very much appreciate it.
Great. Well, thank you very much and have a great day.
Thank you. You as well.
Take care. Bye.